So according to the curses of Deuteronomy, our people were sent back to Egypt in ships. So there's two Exodus, one that happened already and one that will happen again. And on both cases, there will be plagues. The same plagues that happened during the first Exodus happens again in the second Exodus, as he leads us out of Babylon. So these are the plagues of Egypt, and this is what's happening right now. So in today's video, I'm going to be covering hail. And this reading is about now, the end times. In the time of destruction, they will pour out their force, and they will appease the wrath of him who made them. Fire, hail, famine, and death, all these were created for vengeance. The teeth of the beasts of scorpions and serpents, and the sword that punishes the ungodly with destruction. In other words, war. As you look at the east coast of the United States, that's where the 13 colonies were founded, Babylon. And towards the bottom, the Egyptian Sea in Egypt. So as you can see, Texas is getting hit really hard, right? That area, better known as Texas, is actually Egypt. Somebody posted this video earlier today. The hailstorm that happened in Texas. It still might be happening right now. It was just posted a couple hours ago. And the scripture does tell you, I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, so that you may not have fellowship in her sins, and so that you may not receive of her plagues. And that includes the fake religions that they gave us, guys. Get out of her. I'm also going to play you a video that this guy posted on the lower southern states, including New Orleans. And I went to New Orleans, and I went to the plantations, and I went to the auction block where they sold our tribal brothers, Judah, and our tribal sisters. They want to become independent. I'm going to play you that video as well. And I'm also going to play you a video of what Biden said. What they don't understand that the lots have been switched, the switching of the dragons. Our lands go back to us. And what they're doing is fighting it. And the reason they got away with it the first time is because Abba turned his back on us and sold us to the best shepherd. For he is with his children now. He's fighting for his children. They're not going to get away with it like they did the first time. In fact, this is just today's headlines. You see, May 9th. Pull up articles since 2020. All the lands that have been returned to our people. Under the lands back movement. Just like the scripture says, that the lands will be returning back to us. It's a promise that John made to Abraham. Even Christopher Columbus stated that the Garden of Eden was in Venezuela. And he called us Indios because Indios means in God. And there was no country named India in 1492. It was called Hindustan at that time. But they needed it to match the script, so they named them India after the fact. So Indios means in God, as in the children of Yah, God.
Morning. Remember back in 2021 when I said this? Here we have a rich white subdivision in the city of Baton Rouge that wants to separate itself and become its own city because it's tired of sharing its wealth with the poor blacks across town. They say that creating the city of St. George has absolutely nothing to do with race. They just want to create their own schools and communities and effectively resegregate the city. Keep in mind, this is Louisiana. We left America to help create another country called the Confederate, whose foundation was based on the belief that black people should be enslaved to white people forever. Well, on April 26, 2024, the Louisiana Supreme Court ruled in favor of white supremacists and allowed them to secede from the city of Baton Rouge and create their own whites-only city known as the city of St. George. Their reasoning behind it? Because they filled out all the paperwork, so I guess we have to honor it. And that just isn't happening here in the state of Louisiana. It's happening across the South. You see, our governor, Jeff Landry, is working in connection with other governors across the states like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida to help them create whites-only cities as well. And their plan for 2025 is to, in essence, revive the Confederate. This is what we're dealing with.
This is how big the hail is, close to about 4 inches across. This can come down in severe thunderstorms.
after two major thunderstorms devastated multiple counties in central Texas on Thursday. Many viewers began sending in videos and photos. SAN's first warning weather team reports that San Marcos and Johnson City sustained significant damage from wind-blown hail. The National Weather Service even had reports of 5 inches of hail from a meteorologist and storm chaser in Johnson City in Blanco County. The NWS lists hail that size as CD or DVD size. Several videos circulating on social media showed large hail and strong winds hitting Johnson, Dripping Springs, and surrounding areas, prompting warnings for outdoor areas.
From a little hailstorm that we had. Some still out there.
Much of northern Johnson is currently under severe thunderstorm conditions, with heavy rainfall and winds up to 70 miles per hour.
Gang, we're near Dripping Springs, Texas. Oh, that was a biggie. That was some major hail. We're getting hail to about... Oh, well, I'll get a new windshield tomorrow.
Locals said the hailstones vary in size, from as small as a pea to as large as a tennis ball.
That makes the biggest hail I've ever seen.
There were also reports of broken vehicle windows and serious damage. The hail swept through the trees and littered the ground with fallen leaves, leaving behind an odor similar to that of cut grass.
This is the craziest stuff I've ever been a part of. Oh my lord. This is crazy.
According to media reports, strong winds and large hail caused serious disruption to driving, forcing many drivers to stop due to damaged windows.
Who says, what the hell am I doing with this guy right now? But all kidding aside, I've known you my whole life, most of you. I've worked with you my whole life, most of you. I've been around doing this for a long, long time. I don't always get it right, but I always take responsibility. When I get it wrong, I acknowledge I got it wrong. But my overarching objective, if we cannot make significant progress on racial equity, this country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.